So today we're going to go look at an engine that my buddy has laying around. It's been assembled for quite some time. I don't know how long it's been sitting, but he's got a 565, which is a short deck, big block, and a picture of the block being a big M block. So today we're going to go check that out. If it's what it is and everything checks over, we're going to try to make a deal. We're going to pull the oil pan off and scope the top end and see the condition that's in and show everyone kind of a quick process of things to look for and things to consider. So I made it to my buddy's shop. This engine is all set up for me to take a look at. First glance, it is a Dart Big M block. It's all complete. We're going to spin it over and take a closer look at it. So the plan for this would be a bigger displacement backup engine just in case I do something stupid that hurts my smaller 489. The caps, as they should be, are billet splayed caps. We were able to see down the side of the rod, they're 6385 scat rods, forged I-beam, probably a 4340. There is a part number on the front of the crank. We'll have to take this front main off, but as I run this around, you will see that there's a small glimpse of a part number that pops up. Just give me a second here. See, right there. So we'll pop this front main off just to see what kind of brand or part number this crank is. The pistons, let's see if I can get a good view here. If you look real close, it's a JE piston. Part number on the left. On the wrist pin pad is the order part number. These are probably some type of custom piston I can call JE and figure out what it is if I care to. Another observation is this is a roller. It's got a roller cam in it. Obviously a forged crank. So we'll pull that cap off and see what else is in there. So another thing that this has is a Schumann's pump. I personally never heard of them. The bearings are pretty clean, so this engine probably had some run-in dyno time, most likely. But look at this number here. Upside down, we'll go right side up here. It's the Eagle crank, and that's the part number, stamp 4340. So we'll be able to look up that number. So this engine really turns over pretty freely. It's probably fine to run as it is. The one unknown is all your clearances and stuff, what application this was set up for. So if I acquire this, I'll be checking main clearances, making sure that they're loose enough, as well as the rod clearances, so that I don't have an issue. So I just wanted to show the how good the cylinder walls look. Let's see if we can focus on here. Barely run. I can't see that one that well. Let's go over to this one. Barely run. Very clean. Clean oil. Everything looks great. So we're going to look a little bit closer on the inside of the top end on this. We have a really cheap Amazon endoscope with the light on the end of it. It actually works pretty good as a bore scope. But what we're seeing here, you can see that's a dish. You can see right near the edge there's a dish and there's one valve relief. And what's interesting about this cylinder, and this is cylinder number 4. You can see, if I can focus it again, looks like somebody dropped the piston on assembly or some funky stuff happened there. But the crosshatch looks perfect. We'll go to another one. We'll go to number 6, just as a comparison. The top of the piston, it's right near the top. We'll try the back one. There you go. You can see a better view here. So yeah, it's dished. One valve relief. Everything looks good. We'll go through the rest of them and just check it out. So we're going to do the back bank real quick. Or actually, this would be the driver's side. I was looking at it if it were in a car. Yeah, looks good. That looks pretty good too. Nothing's rusty. Well, there you go. All of them look very clean from the top side. So I got no use for the iron cylinder heads or the intake manifold. And we're kind of curious about what that damage or what that little piece of debris inside looks like. So we ended up pulling the heads off just to take another look. Up to this point, I'd be confident in just buying it as is. Whenever you put a bunch of light and a camera on something, all the blemishes look about 10 times worse than they actually are. At least this is from my experience.
So we're gonna look from the previous inspection.
The little piece of debris that was in there was soft. It almost looked like a sealer or an RTV. It was very small and not something I'd consider that would cause damage. Obviously, this is something abnormally clean for something that is run. You can see that it has been run from the carbon that's on the pistons, but not very long. It looks just a little bit different when you can see the whole picture and not looking through a scope. We were able to confirm the bore measurement as 4.599. Using a caliper is really not the correct tool for this because of measurement error. Close enough to 4.6 inch bore that we expected. And then we measured the stroke as well and ended up getting the 4.25 inch stroke. Here's what the cylinder heads look like. Again, not something I am interested in running. It's a small valve over port. Has an interesting chamber shape. It would probably work good in a low speed application. I now have a 565 short block. The process I use will keep most people out of trouble. Especially if you can't hear it run, it's good to pull a pan and check things out, make sure nothing's rusted up. Scoping through the spark plug hole is not that time consuming either. It all can be done pretty fast without any major disassembly if you don't want to. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something and I hope you come back for the next one.